Hello and welcome back to Heroes of the Mist. I'm your host and Game Master Hawk Robinson, and this is part 2 of episode 39 on March 24th, 2019. When we stopped for the break, the group had arrived at the Great Northern Wood Elves tree gate. Towering trees, just towering up in a cathedral-like wall of thrown together trees with huge wooden gates and little arrow slits and such about 50 feet up inside the trees, and you can see light every now and then from inside the trees just through those little slits that allow a bow or crossbow to get through. You're being escorted with 10 horsemen on each side of you, wood elves on each side who've been a little jumpy. This is after your battle with the hordes of undead zombies that were coming at you, and you narrowly escaped, thankfully, with some of the help of the wood elves. Though the wood elves are not particularly friendly to you, they have, at least with some fast talking from various party members, at least seem to be willing to have a conversation, whereas at first they seemed just wanting to shoot you. So they brought you into this large wooden cathedral, basically, of ancient trees. I don't know if you guys can see the drawing up there. I know I'm not a very good artist, but hopefully that at least gets the image across, just of how massive it is. That
so what's like the scale?
Let me pull
like
my copy here. So yeah, I mean, you would just be little stick figures. Those gates are about 40 feet tall. So you can see the little dots above there at about the 50-foot line. Can you see those little dashes in the trees going across horizontally? So those are kind of the murder holes and such, and those are about 50 feet from the ground. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of the scale there. So the gates are about 40 feet tall, big, huge, wooden. Again, the trees are all grown together. They're literally just grown solidly together. There's no gap between them, except for higher up about 100 feet on up. This is about the lowest gap that you see. And it's a big open clearing. And basically, if a military force came in here, besides using fire, and it's about, this area is about the size of a you could put a football field in the area in front of it and still have room. So it's kind of like a large coliseum of space. It's big, but the trees close completely up overhead, very high up. It is nighttime, but you can't see any stars through the trees. Ancient trees. And you can sense, you don't see any more wood elves here, but you can see, movement through the occasional light of the murder holes and such, so you know that there's a garrison of some kind in there. And so once they walk you out into the middle of this clearing, all of the horsemen raise their hands, they stop, they then gesture for all of you, stay, looking for confirmation from each of you. And then 5 from each side break off and ride off to the gate, and 5 on each side remain. But they kind of sidle their horses away from you and move away about 40 feet from you each. So they're 40 feet away.
Target,
that certainly crosses your character's mind. You're a very optimistic dwarf there. It does seem like they're making room. Maybe just all the better to shoot you with arrows and such, but yeah. Yep.
They're far enough back that we're in fireball range.
yeah. Wouldn't touch the trees. Yeah, it's big enough of a gap. Now, everybody roll your wisdom stat.
I have one.
After everything you rolled, you've got to have great stats. After how long it took you to make that character.
Yeah,
oh, bummer.
Yeah. Trying to roll high for one.
You want to roll low.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
8.
Okay.
7 to 14.
Okay.
9 to 16.
Okay.
2 out of 12.
Great.
Yeah.
Farhad?
3 out of 10.
All right. Everybody except Lindalay. Actually, let me see about Karn. Janera. Oh, and Janera. Lindalay and Janera are the most oblivious. Everybody else, you're noticing that at the tree line and in the undergrowth and such, a little bit here and there, little animals are kind of peeking their heads out here and there, looking at you, like deer, wolves, and raccoons and ferrets and all kinds of little woodland creatures, semi-temperate alpine, all kinds of little foxes.
Does Levi go?
No, Levi has been shivering in terror in your clothing, and has relieved himself several times in clothing.
And which is
And-
really fastidious that's worse than it would be.
Yes, others. And Herschel is shaking, like has not
Okay.
stopped shaking. Keeps leaning against you, and you just feel him shaking.
I think this is a
Even and even the horses. You guys, now that you've got a moment to stop and breathe for once, notice the horses are heavily lathered. You guys weren't running, right? You were walking quickly, but you notice they're heavily lathered, wild-eyed. They were working earlier, but they're still lathered up and sweating and wide-eyed and very on edge and just ready to jump out of their skin. All the animals are freaked.
Getting flashbacks.
And your Gosling too is just clinging next to you as close as possible.
Getting flashbacks. I'll be seeing all these animals.
What's that?
What's the temperament of these woodland creatures?
They just seem to be looking at you curiously.
Okay.
So imagine kind of like the scene from Bambi with all the little animals coming up to look at Bambi. They're all kind of, Bambi was newborn. They're kind of that kind of, they're not coming out of the edge, but they're all watching you curiously.
What do you do with that?
No, yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Okay, doing
Yeah, start with yours.
13, 15.
You're starting the process. It'll take a little while to get that heart rate down. But luckily, animals are actually much easier to soothe than humans. Humans keep going, well, I would have, but I could have, but what if, but I could have, and I would have. And you got to okay, stop thinking about that. You're safe now. Animals, it's, yeah, exactly. Animals will, once they're certain they're safe, generally come down pretty quickly. They're just not certain they're safe yet. There's just too much going on. But you're starting the process, and it.
Half waiting.
Throw them to the squirrels!
Yes, Moisha.
Levi has
Multiple times. Still terrified.
So he's not relieved.
No, it did not have.
Not self-soothing.
Yeah. Who else had animals besides? Is that everybody's animals? A Gosling, the horses.
Fairhouse got Kevin. I got a horsemanship.
Right, yeah. None of you had a raccoon or anything like that. Okay. All right.
I see how it is. I
What?
can't even keep us straight with the other group.
Well, you guys are slowly developing a similar menagerie of animals, and so that could get a little confusing sometimes between. And lots of groups do that. Pretty. All right. They, especially because they have two beast masters, so they trying to bond with every animal they ran into. It's pretty funny. Okay, Lindley, what are you doing? You stopped. Your animals, horses shaking.
I'm trying to soothe my horse.
Okay. How is your character?
Well, I'm feeling picked on by the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly pecked to death by a bird.
Yeah.
And overrun by zombies. I lost the tribute that was going to be
Yeah.
my perfect plan to reunite the tribes.
Okay. Okay. So feel a little frustrated and pessimistic?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason I didn't notice the animals searching around is too busy looking for pretty stones to.
Okay. This area is pretty stone free. It's much more the
universe is out
needles and turf and stuff like that. It's not really stony at all here. You're finding 0 at the moment. River. Yeah. Well, you see quite a few around you. They're not pointing weapons at you at the moment, but they're still on their horses, and they look ready to spring to action at any moment, as you saw them do right. But that's it at the moment. Okay. Torn?
Torn was totally pumped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until
and now,
Wells, which is of things that Torn does.
Yes.
Just because
The Southern Wood Elves, you know, to be really bad news.
Yeah, because all the other things that's over there.
Yeah, those are legends.
Yeah. Well, you know someone who got shot by arrows from.
Well, and your parents and grandparents and uncles and aunts would always say, "Hey, you better not go out at night, or the Wood Elves will get you.
Exactly.
And they'll skin you, and they'll eat you, and all that wonderful stuff."
Maybe in that order.
And
then they'll kill you.
From what you heard in town, you're not sure that was entirely made up. You know that there have been multiple skirmishes, because you're down near the Southern Wood Elves, right? Yeah. Peninsula there. You know that they're highly territorial, and that if anybody goes into the Wood Elves, they never come back.
So,
and even Regnum Sapientium's military doesn't go into the.
Corn's going to be soothing the animals.
Yeah.
He's going to be soothing the animals. You have to focus on it.
Yeah. Keep chanting to yourself.
It's going to be all right.
All right.
You stop worrying.
So you're soothing yourself too. Yeah. All right, Moisha.
Moisha knows we're all doomed and we're going to die. He has turned a corner though, and he has accepted that a gory, horrible death is imminent and inevitable. So
He's just at peace that he's going to die in pieces.
Basically. So he's busy calming Herschel and Levi.
Okay.
But
did you have any animal handling yourself? Or?
No.
Okay, roll your wisdom. It'll be heavily modified, but see what you get.
7.
Out of. Okay, you're doing an okay job, slowly calming it. Not as effective as he is, but you're intuitively doing okay.
Moisha lives to return. He'll just be one of those guys holding a sign. The end is nigh.
All right, Talk.
Talk is soothing his goose. Not a euphemism for anything. And rolling over words in his head, trying to get predict what the dialogue is going to be, and kind of prepare himself mentally for speeches.
Okay. All right. Good. So he's prepping himself. Erhard.
Erhard, covered in sap.
Yes. And so, all of you who were around the trees are covered in sticky sap with pine needles and leaves and bits of gore, especially guys at the front line. The sap made all the gore stick to you. So you guys are like walking gore chunks. Not just blood, like stuck pieces, fingers and what have you. Yeah, well it's like Velcro, it's like, and it makes like a peeling sound.
Try and throw it away,
and then your fingers are even stickier.
And it's like
if you were helping with the logs at all.
Fairhawk breaks out some.
Okay.
Rubbing over the sap.
Okay, that does help. Makes everything really slippery, but it does help.
Even more flammable.
It also is a solvent.
Yes.
Bills break down.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. So.
If you want, I know Firefinger.
Does Linda say that? Does Linda actually say that? Does Linda actually say that?
Yes.
Okay. So say it with character voice and such.
If you need, I know Firefinger. I can burn a little of that off.
Oh, thank you. Like burns.
Right.
All right.
I have left.
Yeah. And so everybody's just kind of trying to calm down, bring your heart rate down after that intense period. You can no longer hear any sounds of battle. It's actually very, very quiet. The animals up in the trees and such, and the birds and such, are making little soft cooing sounds here. It's quiet forest sounds, but it's not deadly silent. It's actually kind of reassuring after all the horrific sounds you heard. It's just kind of old, ancient, kind of normal forest. But, now the animals looking at you are looking at you with way too much intelligence. That part's a little unnerving. There's just way too much. Yeah. but that doesn't mean you're inured to it. It's still like, okay, these are a little bit more than your average, but they're keeping their distance.
Enough for us to be free, but not.
Yeah, it does
concerned.
kind of feel like though, like gladiators in the middle of a coliseum, and they're the audience. It does feel a little bit like. That's what you would
And I'll be
imagine.
the ring
Imagine
master.
it would be like. Does that feel?
2 men enter.
All right. The horsemen get up to the gates. There's hushed discussion. They're trying not to let their voices carry back to any. They make a few gestures, and eventually a subsection of one of the big doors opens up just enough to let the horsemen ride in low, ride in through a smaller door, and one by one they ride in, and then you hear it shut. You do a good job calming down the horses. Each of you, the animals are coming down fairly quickly. What you're going to be here waiting for a little while. Like, it's going to be a little while. So what do you want to do? After 20-30 minutes go by, it's clear.
Night, so
Yes.
setting up bedrolls and
It is about 8:30.
no.
It's actually fairly warm in here. It feels like it's not muggy, but it's
Also remind.
Hmm?
Also remind.
it's not. But it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels different. That was
otherworldly.
supernatural. This is, this feels like what a wood elf realm would feel like, you know.
That was supernatural. This is super.
Yes, there you go. That's without being druidic.
I clean myself as best as I can, and
What do you use to clean yourself?
rocks trying to stick stuff off.
So that's just sticking on more and more, and tearing on your arm hairs, and
What was it?
very
I have
unpleasantly.
soap, but I
How
need
bad are
water.
the people that just stood on the logs, covered in sap? Down there,
Yeah, if you only
chopping
stood
and
on them,
fighting?
then it's just kind of all around your knees on down. If you only stood on them, you were anyway engaged in trying to move them or chop branches off, or anyway, or fighting and slipped and fell, or fighting, then you're covered in it. So yeah, so relative to that,
You got soap.
but you need water. You're drinking water.
Clean as much as
Okay.
I can.
You're finding the
with
soap really isn't doing much.
That's what
Doesn't
the
seem
gods
to
in
phase it.
spit.
River.
Or probably.
Yeah, you see Firehod rubbing oil on himself, and it looks like, I mean, he has to really work it, but it looks like it's starting to come off where he rubs that oil and really works it off. It's kind of smears all around, but it looks like he's making. It's a lot of work, but it seems to be working. Whereas he's covered himself in dirt and rock, dirt.
Do we get the advantage of the 4 hours
What are
sleep?
you doing?
Okay, so we just
It's lamp oil. Oils break down.
Yes.
Fine. Hot space.
Twitch was like the stream dropped. It might just come on.
Thin oils break down thick. A little bit of sap. Don't be clean like clean. Don't be stop being sticky.
Didn't need it.
I don't need lamp oil. Like, when would
I
ever
don't.
have
I don't
lamp
need
oil?
either, but I got lamp
Makes a
oil.
good weapon. It has lots of uses, yeah. Okay, so Farhad, you share some oil with her?
Yeah.
All right. So it takes a lot of work. You got to really work it, but it is breaking it up, and it is helping. Thorin. Animals are calmed down now.
Okay.
They could use some grooming and cleaning, but
That
you've
has
done
to
all
be
you
on
can
my
do.
hands. No, I'm sticky.
They are. You can do this, and your sword stays in your palm.
Alright.
It is super sticky stuff.
Huh.
So plus all the gore and everything.
I'll
So,
clean everybody in the morning. Don't worry.
I help the. Back to the hand.
Okay.
Down to collect it.
Making some pitch balls, huh?
Yeah.
It's taking a lot of skin with it. But okay, that's how you're doing it. You're scraping
The
it.
country boy. Yeah.
Okay, all
That's
right.
how they do it.
You're taking a few layers of skin with it, but you're being careful and nothing else to do at the moment. In a way.
Talk
Moisha.
Is Moisha covered sap or just gore? Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
wasn't
were. No,
prepared.
you're covered in
Okay.
sap. Yeah, you were doing all
will,
first.
Follow forehead and oil to get
Some of your own oil.
clean stuff.
Okay.
He's got. Oh.
Okay.
And then he will water, drinking water.
To rinse that
To
as
rinse
best as possible. Okay, so he's stripping down to his loincloth, or
and he's gonna
Okay.
go a little bit away to not.
where? Where do you try
Well,
to go?
he's just gonna try and give a respectable distance
Give me a
between
number.
himself and the women. So 40 feet.
Okay, so the wood elves are 40 feet away. Which direction are you going to go?
Just
There's
hide behind one of the.
so there's east to the gate, west back the way you came, north and south is trees, but at a great
So-
distance.
Um.
Those wood elves are 40 feet south.
So
Okay, when you get within about 20 feet, you see
Yeah.
one of them raise his bow. He doesn't knock an arrow.
and I start to undress.
Okay. So you're about 20 feet.
He's
away
got a
from him.
knife!
Yeah.
Does talk shout something like
No.
that? All right, so Moisha's doing that. What's Talk doing?
Talk. I'll. So Linda,
Linda
Lale,
Linda
Lale,
Not Linda.
I wonder. You see, I know you partake of the magic. I'm a bit specialized, of course. I'm into the illusion. Has some limitations, of course. I wonder, do you happen to know how to recognize magical items?
Well, I do have a spell which I already cast yesterday. Wait until I wake up.
Well, I imagine.
But
I
yes,
imagine we're all pretty exhausted.
Tech magic spell I have.
What about identify?
And that is something all of you should be aware of. After all that adrenaline, you are crashing. All of you. You ran, you fought. There's just this wave of exhaustion. All of you.
That's why I was trying to sleep.
But,
Yeah,
you were
I
asking
understand.
questions. No, I don't have identify. I can tell you that it is magical. Tell you what kind of magical it is, but I can't tell you precisely that this was made by so and so and they can do this and all.
Maybe a. Anyway, that's. Was just hoping that I have my item.
That would be too high a level for me. I just started on spells.
I was hoping it would.
So Bart spell.
Moisha, you finished removing all the clothing except your loincloth. Cleaning yourself as best you can.
I'm sacrificing a fire water
Yeah.
at 5.
Okay.
I'm using 1 to myself
Hey,
off.
that-
Long road trip, that's wise.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I've got
Oh.
9. No.
Pack animal. All right. So, Moisha's taking a bath, basically. Shallow. All bath.
Fun.
All right. River. And your clothing.
It's
In your hair. Big
funny
time,
that-
too. Warren?
So try to get like,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, you eventually get it off. I mean, your hands are raw, but you get it
Yeah.
off of there. And it is a couple of. Mom always said keep a mason jar handy.
Pretty much like only like save some in a jar, like the lamp, and
Yeah, it stings when you do so. But because you rip skin off, it stings.
Yeah.
But you may.
you just
Yeah.
tap my hand, taking the thing, take
Mhm.
off 8,
Mm-hmm.
and try not to pay it.
Okay.
Okay, he lost.
Yep, down in the wood. All right, and Moisha, you finish cleansing yourself best you can.
And then I'll
Your little ferret just kind of stayed by the pile of clothes.
um
No, it wasn't a ferret. Oh, it was a
sure.
ferret.
I'll look around, and does it make more sense to sleep near Lindalay, or should I drop where I
Played near Odin's
Mm-hmm.
8-legged or
Yeah.
whatever.
Um,
Just add-
It's up to you what you want to do.
Moisha would probably go back away from his cesspool and go sleep in the vicinity
As a
of
group.
Lindalay.
Okay. Lay down exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. Still nervous, but too tired.
Absolutely.
You can barely keep your.
Well, we're all doomed, so I may as well sleep.
You're all doomed to all dooms.
Yeah.
Talk.
Pardon the. One talking with Linda over there. Just go curls up with to the back. It doesn't really do. Yeah, all
Well, what's your wisdom?
goose handling.
Yeah, what's your
training.
wisdom?
Wisdom is
Put a roll. See. You can.
Dragon
probably-
did well for me earlier. 10 out of 12.
But the animals are mostly calmed down anyway. But you don't think you did all. All right. Farhad?
Once Fairhot's enough. Go to sleep, everyone. I'll take the first watch. I'm feeling very good. Very strong, very sharp, very powerful. Go to sleep. I'll wake up when.
So, Farhad, you stay up. Karn, Dranera is helping Karn Karn and Kloss patch up their wounds because they have just like dozens of little wounds all over them. So the three of them are kind of, Dranera is helping the two of them patch up their wounds.
Hawk's not sleeping. He's resting. he has a feeling that if they all go to sleep, then what else would immediately show up to pull them up audience with their king or something.
Okay.
And he's like, they haven't told us how long they're going to be.
Well, they didn't. They haven't told you much of anything.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's
up. So sleep, meditating.
Fantastic.
Okay, roll a con check.
What's that? Natural 1 of 16.
Stay awake all night if you want. You'll
Yeah.
regret it, but you can do it. If that's what you want to do.
Probably afraid of going to sleep.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
No.
Understandably. Yeah, it makes sense after what you just experienced.
Yes.
Okay, you'll do a good job with your sling. You'll have plenty of time to get it just right. Nothing, no bonuses, but no penalties. Penalties.
But remember, you also can't test it out.
Well, you can if he wants to see what happens.
If you want to get killed.
And Moisha sleeping.
Dead to the world.
Talk not sleeping. Farhad, are you strutting around, standing, laying down? What are you doing?
No
audio, Joe.
No comprende.
Okay.
Maybe doing like sitting, get a little uncomfortable off the ground.
Okay. So somewhere in the middle of that, all of a sudden, all of that energy just suddenly leaves you, like mid push-up, just gone immediately. And then all the exhaustion and your normal strength and everything, comes back with all that exhaustion.
Oh. Closest awake.
Torin, talk.
Torn and talk. Karn and Kloss have gone ahead and they're sleeping.
Torin.
Janera's up
this
though.
This is the hour of the night. Torin goes to sleep. I seem to have lost all of my strength. Help us. Dogs, and now.
Hey, you was working hard.
Yeah, well, you were like mid push up and went on your face.
I'm weary. You finish this watch or like? What?
Yeah, I got this.
Good night.
Okay, just face down in the dirt right there.
No, he like pulls himself up and like.
Okay. Okay. All right. You do notice, by the way, since you've got a good close inspection of the dirt, though, that the dirt is really clean. Like, you didn't see any animal droppings and like this. Where you looked around, this seems very well groomed. Even though it doesn't look groomed, it seems to be. Yes. That's a good question. What are you doing for light source for you? They did, yeah. No, the two horsemen still have their bullseye lanterns pointed at you guys, one from each side.
I saw my magic glow stick.
Yeah, you can take that if you want. Yeah, so you can use that if you want. But they are keeping the one on each side, the spotlight, and then as one starts to flicker out, a different one brings out his bullseye lantern. They're literally each side keeping one bullseye lantern on each side of the party. And I mean, they don't need that, so it seems like they're actually trying to help, even though it's a little annoying. The rest of you are too tired to care, so.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah. So after about 4 hours after River and Lindalay go to do their meditation, you guys finish. So it's about a little after midnight.
I start preparing my spells today.
Okay.
And I can do the clean cantrip for 4 square yards each cantrip. Need 1 or 2 to get.
To do what?
Clean cantrips.
Oh,
4 square yards.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I can do up to 3, but I'd like to say 1 for Firefinger.
Well, are you going to take care of the horses too, or just the people?
Just the people. I mean, are the horses covered in pitch?
Yeah, they were pulling the logs and everything.
But not as much.
Well, they were squeezing between the logs and that. No,
Okay,
they're,
so I'll
they're
do
all
all 3
sticky.
cantrips so that I can get everybody.
Okay, yeah, if you do all 3, that'll be enough.
Okay.
So
So while people are sleeping, I'm cleaning.
So you're watching like the pitch just clear away.
Where's it go? Like clothes too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything
clothes,
within 4 square
everything.
feet,
He's
4 square
cleaning it up.
yards of when I cast it becomes clean.
How's that hitch go?
It just dissolves in ether. Like this on a far pond. Just yes, aerosol.
There's a town called World, where
Everything ends up right.
everything
Yeah.
ends up, and they have no
Somewhere in the
idea
multiverse,
why.
there probably
They're
is.
just constantly
Yes.
barraged with the filth from every cleansing spell.
Multiverse, yeah. All right, River.
River.
Ritual. Okay. All right. Thor. How many what? You're gonna make multiple slings?
In case I lose one. I hadn't thought about that.
2.
Alright, 2 slings.
Yeah, you can lose equipment in this. Imagine that.
Oh, I never did.
Yep. Well, he's new to this whole adventure. Yeah, all
Got
right.
that sling for his birthday 10 years
Okay.
ago.
Moisha, you're still sleeping, but you'll wake up pleasantly surprised. And Talk, you're still awake.
Wait, are I pulled off of...
It's still in the jar.
How did it know?
It's discerning from
Because
his
it's
spell.
not dirty. But being in the jar is where it's supposed to be, so it's no longer
Yeah.
dirty.
But how does the magic know these things?
For the wonders of magic.
Hawk nods off.
Okay.
I rolled a 13 over 8.
So he's like
He tried to
sitting upright asleep like this.
He waited it out as long as he could.
Yeah.
Just because he didn't want to try and go to sleep and then have everybody
Sure.
get woken
Sure.
up. And
The night goes through. The wood elves are getting a little tired, but they're still sitting on their horses, keeping guard. Slowly, you see a slight lightening of the canopy overhead, a faint green, lighting up. That you realize morning is coming around. You're tired.
Yeah.
You're a -4 to all actions now.
I guess it's better than this.
But the River, you're done with all your stuff, charged up, ritual's done. What do you do? Okay. Eat rations. Okay. Lindale.
Oh, I'm definitely eating.
Yeah.
Almond bread.
Moisha, you wake up well
Hit
rested.
points restored.
Uh,
I
one.
lost 5 hit points.
Yeah, 1 hit point plus your con bonus. Any of you slept properly, get 1 hit point plus your. If you have a con bonus.
I get 1 hit point.
And if you have a con penalty, you don't lose one.
did I sleep long enough for that? I was resting up.
You're still sleeping. You once you conked out, you're getting your 8 hours unless somebody wakes you up.
Okay, so I'm
You'll get your full 8 hours when you'll just wake up a few hours after. Oh, okay.
I'm 2 down, but I'm gonna wait.
Okay. Farhad, you wake up well rested and cleaned.
Wakes up. I did a much better job last night than I thought. That's getting up. Thorin,
Yeah,
time to worship Cord.
yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, aches and pains. The raking across your chest is all welted up and unpleasant and nasty. Remember, you got one really good hit there.
But the wound's clean.
Right, that's
It's not like
it cuts through like the leather armor and everything.
yeah. It kind of tore at it. I was trying. It's just kind of come with the description. It didn't ruin it, but
Okay.
it got through. It was 9 hit points. It was
I
a
figure it's
big
like one
hit.
of these things where I just take you like a full on like 200 or probably like 500 pounds of horse like me in the chest and like
No, it got through. I mean, it remember, it was a natural 20 and everything. Your armor is got to be pushed out.
Oh, okay.
You've got some welts. It's not.
What kind of armor?
Leather.
Lauren, let me. Give
Yeah,
me your,
you have a
your
leather
armor.
worker.
Let me.
Okay, I kind of like the side-eyed all these elves that's surrounding us. Off, and it's like,
Yeah.
well,
And the elves are looking tired.
We.
As it's getting lighter, they turn off the lanterns now. You've got enough light coming through the canopy.
alright, and so I give moisture my arm.
Okay. Him.
And I try and worship Cord.
Okay, you're stiff and sore, but you manage to do your thing. So, it's finally about 7 in the morning. You've finished your rituals. Everybody's eaten too. You'll wake up at about 8. Does that sound about right? A little after midnight, so 8:30. Call it 8:30.
Pretty much. I know we have like various medicines. Why don't you take some? Half-life.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't look like it's. Other than it left a welt, it doesn't look like it's infected or anything.
Okay.
It looks like you're healing okay. It's still not healed. It's scabbing over. It doesn't look pussy or anything exceptionally.
Does anyone require any aid or healing?
I mean, Klaus and myself probably could. I mean, entire one, they pack a heck.
Sure.
Coming right at me, I feel it on my chest, and I just ash up like this, and all of a sudden the whole face just went, came right off.
Ligament, cartilage, or damage to anybody?
Okay, luckily, nobody took any really, really bad hits. It was death of 1,000 cuts. Luckily, no death.
Injuries. Plus, probably.
And Karn and Kloss are up now, and Janera tried to stay awake but nodded off in the middle of the night. Kind of stirs. So Kloss and Karn are doing their morning exercises and noticing that they're cleaned up, and Karn's like, "Ooh! Ow!"
Oh, it was magic.
You're welcome. You're injured, are you not?
Yes.
I would like to see your wounds. Okay.
He's looking at you very warily. In the future,
Yes.
please do not be performing magic on me without
Technically, I
my
just
explicit.
cast it in an area. Just happened to get hit by it. I didn't cast it at you.
Without my explicit permission.
Okay.
Understood?
I understand your point.
He looks over at Farhad, looks back at you. Now, you don't know. You haven't been around.
I have no
Understand
idea why he's like
why he
looking at
gave
Farhad.
Farhad a meaningful look who's busy working out right now. And then he just kind of rolls his eyes and turns and goes back to his workout.
Can I take care of your wounds?
Yes.
I pull out an Arlan leaf and
Okay.
apply it to your wounds.
Okay.
So, one die 6 plus 3.
Okay.
So 4.
Okay.
And who else needs some?
Boss.
Us, same thing. We could give us permission. That's 5. And Orin.
Percentage-wise.
Well, let me know if I need to use 2 on you. Okay, so that's only 4. Would you like another one?
That's
Yes, sir, may I have
20
one?
and 28. Like good.
I have more. I can that is going to be 8.
So 8:30 rolls around, you stir. You notice you're all clean.
So, that's for him about magic. What did you need the holy water for?
the holy water hurts the zombies. Did you not see the sizzlings and the?
Oh, I thought it was silver, and I was hoping that my silver bullets would do a lot more. They didn't seem to.
No, they're not fairy folks or lycanthropy. They are just simple walking dead. They're abominations in the sight of the gods. Therefore, holy water burns.
What is holy water? 'Cause I heard his water passed through a holy man. So I guess that's not right.
No, it is not. It is.
Which means those older kids who told you to drink that for a blessing suckered you when you were younger.
Oh.
They're the ones who told you that. And they're like, no, take more. Just a little flashback as he explains
Maybe they
that.
don't need that gross out.
But you're not gonna mention that.
No, that's just a little internal dialogue of Torrens' upbringing.
I'm a big tough knight.
Because he seems to be a little bit gullible, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, seeing all about the
I'm working on a Papa Voodoo. They've got to be in the right place.
So, in order to make holy water, a priest is required to create one. It has to be so pure, get it from a river. I think. But not only is that, it's still not purified enough when you create the water. You have to cast purified food and drink. Then bless it, chant for, and say a prayer. After you've done this, and in a special font, of course. You don't have the right font, it doesn't quite work, and some fonts are better than others.
What's the font?
No Comic
Comic
Sans.
stands for life.
No, what?
Comic
Oh,
Sans.
Font,
Making a
yeah.
joke about Comic
What was that, Joe?
Silver works better, platinum, etc. It depends on what you're using. It's a fancy bowl.
You hear the gates open.
Oh, I haven't seen.
A little click and not really screeching, but just the sound of the slight rumble of very large object. You see one side, if you're facing it, the left gate is opening outward, the full gate rather than the smaller one. And out comes about 40, in rows of two, wood elves in full battle gear, mostly footmen, soldiers, a little later pikemen and such, but there's one person in front leading who is in no armor. All the others are in leather armor of various degrees, but the one in the front is just wearing light woodland clothing and such. It blend pretty well, moving very lightly, and appears to be of a leadership type.
Alicia stands.
Okay.
I bow and hold.
Okay. Okay.
Gordon looks to Karn and see what Karn's doing in this situation.
He gets up and nudges Kloss to get up, and Janera's already gotten up. Kind of looks for a minute, and then he stands at attention and at full attention.
Oh, I see.
Now, despite behavior, Fairhound actually does have etiquette.
What?
Yeah.
Has to choose to use it.
Yeah.
Light is.
blight a lot.
Yeah. For a blacksmith. Gonna.
Okay.
Properly.
You get the feeling that this is a very high-ranking military officer, from what you're seeing from reactions and how everybody else is following him.
Fairhound is not going to bow.
Right.
Not in the military. Don't bow.
Yep.
Going to step away. And then.
Okay.
Hi!
Okay, he calls out
You
hi.
can sleep here tonight!
And all of the elven soldiers who've been on duty, who are kind of slumping with fatigue, are immediately at attention and are slipping down off their horses and standing at attention next to their horses. They just leave their horses' reins on the ground, not holding the reins at all, and are standing all at attention as he's walking closer. Remember, it's a fair distance he has to cross here. But so, Farhad calls out hi and thank you for letting us sleep here.
And Hawk steps forward, dusts himself off, gives a light nod, a friendly hand gesture, and then they're not at attention, but formal.
Okay. All right. He the one in the front, with just kind of again in the dim greenish light, it's a little hard to tell through the canopy, but it looks like he has kind of a chestnut brown kind of hair, and it's a little bit shaggier. Like everybody else is very clean cut. He actually you look at his clothes. He gets closer now. You see, yeah, he's wearing plain woolen clothing, but it looks like it's a little unkempt and road weary. It's good condition, but he looks like he's off. He's been on the road. What's that?
Hippie.
No, nothing like that. It's just a little grown out. Just his hair is a little grown out and such. But he raises his hand, and the troops behind him immediately stop and go to standing at ease. What's that? Yeah.
Parade rest.
And then he continues walking forward very smoothly towards Farhad. As soon as she saw when this happens, as soon as Farhad did, "Hi, thanks for listening here," he does that gesture. They stop, and he makes a beeline for Farhad. Does anybody want to say or do anything while he's still walking the considerable distance here? Okay. On the right or left side of Farhad. So if Farhad's facing, is it Farhad's right or Farhad's left or behind or what? Okay.
Maybe like
Step behind. Okay. Still there?
I will come
You're
up
still
to his
bowing?
left.
Can you
Well,
come on his left side?
I actually have etiquette as well, so
Okay.
I will proper etiquette.
Okay.
Left.
Okay. Right next to him?
Yeah, but not close enough that I'm in his way if he starts swinging.
Okay. Thorin.
Thorn's out of his depths. He's gonna sit there rigidly solid unless
Yeah.
Karn does
Both
something.
Klaus and Karn are at attention.
Okay, that's what he does then.
Okay. Moisha.
Boysha maintains his vigilance to attention,
Okay.
but he's not going to move.
Okay. Talk.
Hawk goes to Farhad's left, slightly in front of, with a nod of respect. Just,
Or to
I
stand
understand
behind
you're
you.
short. You sit down in front of me.
I'm short and you're new, so.
Yeah.
He says, "Greetings and thank you for
He holds up his hand and gestures to Farhad, and then looks at you quizzically, back at you,
thing."
and then he goes back to Farhad. This, that, and that to you. Do you keep going? You're welcome to. That's what he does.
He stopped me.
Okay. Well, he's still walking, so he's
Yeah.
not quite there yet. But okay. So, but you, okay. But yeah, he.
I will nod in
Okay.
acceptance. And
All right. Farhad,
Yes,
he's
sir.
still approaching.
About how far?
Oh, he's still got about 100 feet to go.
I'll wait for him to talking distance.
Okay. All right. He gets closer. 50 feet, 40 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet. Stops about 10 feet away.
draws the sword.
You do not see a weapon on him. You do see no armor except he has some bracers. He's got boots, woodland clothing. You do see he's got a little silver circlet in his hair. He's got quite a few rings on his hands, a brooch at his neck. They're rings, not brass knuckles.
Thank you. Is he, with what information I know about Wood Elves, military high ranking or is he royal?
Don't know enough about the insignia to know. Like he's not. There aren't any clear. Just clearly, he was leading.
Right.
The troops are all treating him with respect, and he's acting. You're not sure which it is.
Okay.
You really don't know. So he stops at 10 feet, and he takes both his hands up to his chest, gives you just a slight nod, then opens his hands and proffers them to you like this.
I'm going to match that movement, and then reach out and give
Okay.
my hands.
All right, and he gives you a little shake, and then puts his hands down his side, and greetings, and what may I call you?
I am Ferhat Guardian, far off original.
Well, welcome, distant traveler and distant cousin. You can call me General Ironcrest. That would be the
Ironcrest,
closest.
like-
Now, what he's speaking to you in Regnum Sapientium. That would be the closest translation, I believe.
General, he said.
Yes, he said general.
Iron Crest?
Crest like the leafy green?
Yes,
Like,
Cress. You do know that wood elves tend to try to name themselves after something to do with nature. They don't always, but they do.
First of all, let me think ever so place to sleep, and for the help that soldiers gave us as trying to flee abominations. Most generous, much appreciated.
He just gives you a small nod.
You have some terrible news. Having to go on and make our way through plans to us end the way. Traveling from the south to the
And how do you propose to do that? This, from what the lieutenants tell me, your little one over there, he gestures with his hands to talk, had much to say about many things confirming what we thought were false rumors to actually be true. And you say this band here is going to bring all of this chaos to bay?
well. Yeah, but and we are not mighty by any all of the chaos, all of the but our part symphony.
You follow the song.
Our song.
Specifically, oh, that's on my.
Yeah, I was
That's
to
my
say, hey,
goal.
Mr. Bard.
That's specifically my goal.
Yes.
Is if I may.
He does this immediately. And he doesn't scowl at you like the others, but he immediately, his hand just dismissively. Sorry, they're picking on you, man, but it is a wood elf racist thing. So.
Oh, I know. I am a follower.
You
I
have
am
to
a
speak
follower.
up more.
My religion is the. Oh, here it is. Tabuarakikiti. follower of the song.
Right. Okay.
Specifically my religion.
Okay.
So I do indicate that I am a follower of this. The secret.
So he gestures for you to come closer.
Yes, General.
So between Fairhut Guarian, the half high elf and the high elf, both of you are significantly taller. He's probably 5'4". He's not very tall. Yeah.
6'4".
Yeah, and how tall are you?
4.
Yeah, so
We're
he's
like-
looking up at both of you, which he actually steps back just a little bit so he doesn't have to crane his neck quite as much. The little one, what is his role in your ensemble here?
Does magic?
Which of you is the leader? Which of you is the leader of this group? Who speaks for all of you?
Are sort of a non-hierarchical collective.
Democracy, if you will.
You could say we're contractors.
But he's now kind of scowling a little and then gestures for you to come here.
Okay.
Since you're so insistent to speak, what is it you wish to say, little one?
Apologies. I know we are intruding on your realms, and
Indeed.
we do so with only the greatest of respect. But he is right in that we all sort of take leadership roles for different circumstances.
Yes, I understand that. What can you tell me about all of what has happened? It appears that you have more information than all of our soothsayers and lore makers and such do.
We have traveled very long and very hard, all the way from the southern coast, at a pace
Yes, my lieutenants have filled me in on what you told them. So,
Talk. Perhaps I should start at the beginning. Just before I came, for many, Mordred has exercised some matter of among those powers.
this we know, and he interrupts.
But
Yeah,
now,
yeah, he's interrupting you. This we know, and we don't need to go back so far. You indicated to one of my lieutenants that you thought a peace could be brought between the Northrons and the Centaurs and our people to stop their invading our lands. They've been demanding we open up our lands to them because they're claiming the ice is encroaching and all these things are happening, which you confirmed to be true. Yes?
everything but the ice. Although we have had on good authority ourselves. But
We've since confirmed the ice. Yes, we did that tonight. You? What?
I can do.
What do you know of it?
It is moving at a pace previously known, but the
Yes, it's been
glaciers
going
are
on for
coming
years, yes.
Yeah, but it's
And
sped up.
accelerating.
Correct.
Yes. Why?
I believe it is a part of Mordred's plan.
So, as you say, you think this is all orchestrated by Mordred?
We have seen collectively so great and terrible things from all directions, even from through the Druid's Gate from the Fey realm.
Yes.
We are being assaulted, and it is extremely unlikely that all of these problems would be.
And we've
happenstance.
confirmed that too. I had one of ours try to contact the Fae. We couldn't let them through because their arms were distorted,
Yes,
and we've confirmed what you said. What is that?
When the mighty fight among themselves. Insidious, dark, tricksters, like more dive and
I at first believed my prince and king and queen and the others that this was just another attempt, as happens every few years, of the Northrons. The Centaurs usually don't give us too much trouble, but of the Northrons to try to take more of our lands. We have run-ins every few decades. So at first I was willing to believe it was just another, but this battle has gone on I've never seen it so bloody. And they have matched our magics like never before. They've always had, we have our disagreements, but they've always been fierce and great warriors, those Northrons. And the Centaurs, of course. I'm really saddened that we have come to blows with each other. We've been good allies in the past. But they've been wielding magic far beyond we've ever seen them before. Usually we can easily hold them at bay with that. And they have matched us, spell for spell, counter for counter, and it has been a complete stalemate for weeks. This has never happened in the history of the skirmishes we've had.
Alone is evidence enough that an outside force is arming them.
It's not proof, but it is a concern that I have spoken to my prince, and they have agreed that perhaps we should accept your offer to mediate between these three parties.
We've, on our way up north, we've made it a bit of a additional mission to alert everyone of the horrible things we have seen and help every town we've come across evacuate. And now we wish to, as we pass through, help you and your people and your neighbors put aside their current differences in order to create a more united front against these terrible invasions and interloping forces.
Well, they're not going to get past our walls and our wards and the Infernium on the south, but if we could at least stop the Northronders and the Centaurs from weakening our energies, that would be something.
all area of the Infernium.
Yeah, we heard these rumors too. We've
The
seen
strength of the
some
magics
problems.
that are happening on the battleground. Afraid.
Also, everyone...
So, let's cut to the chase on this, shall we? Morning has risen. Normally by now our forces are arrayed. I'm concerned now. We have sent reinforcements to man the forest line, but I have not sent them into the field this time as we have previously. And the latest report from my scryer moments ago before coming out here is that the Northronders and the Centaurs are waiting on the north end of the road and have not come into the field either. They seem to be waiting for something. They have not started their attacks. We're holding off on ours. We have sent a messenger to them that you, as a group, came up here as representatives of different species who are neutral, and that you would like to help us mediate our situation at noon today. Did I misspeak?
That would be excellent.
Your
It
foresight
is
greatly
so
appreciated.
sufficient. I am not your lord.
Sir.
Foresight is greatly appreciated.
Thank you for helping schedule this. I know that scheduling parties to come together simultaneously can be quite difficult.
I am just a soldier. This is on the advice of my prince.
Your prince is very wise.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Good to know that that your people have such good leaders, and I hope that the Centaurs and Northronders have equally wise leaders.
Well, that is a concern. So in the past, when they asked for a parley, They insisted that we must send either the prince or his father out. Father is very old. He is not well. They were insisting at least the prince come out. We didn't want to risk it. We feared some sort of foul play. They said that their chieftains would not meet with any lesser. Even a general was not sufficient. So, and the prince is still concerned about foul play, especially with what has happened. In the past, we would not worry, but if what you say is true...
By our protections as well?
Looks you up and down. Like, really?
We are an unknown factor, I believe.
You are indeed. You are at least a neutral factor. You're not exactly an intimidating factor. But I think they may trust you because of your lack of... I think that actually is to your benefit. Yes.
It sounds to me like a meal and a change of clothes, and we're off on our way.
Yes, I will have them set up a feast table for negotiations in one of the cleaner parts of the field where we will have food brought to you as well. Do you have your own clothing, or are you asking for clothing from us? He looks at you
I've got my own
sideways.
clothing.
Good, good.
Who wants it?
Excellent. But I will have fresh food brought for you and fresh water. And let us leave in, shall we say, an hour and a half.
Speak to impose a request.
Quickly, please.
Food for the horse.
Yes, we'll do so. Anything else?
Sounds good. I'll gather up party.
Excellent.
Puck starts opening and then
Looks at you.
shuts his mouth and just nods.
Okay.
Like
Nods.
Like I'm specifically not talking at this
Okay. He turns on his heel and marches quickly back to the other guards. The other guards don't leave. They just step each, from each other and let him walk down the middle of them as he briskly goes towards the gate. The gates remained open this whole time, and he quickly goes into there. All of those troops remain. A few minutes later, elves bringing all kinds of baskets of fruit come running on out and start laying them down before you, just laden with water and fresh hay and some oats and some carrots and etc. Horses, casks of water. Just they lay them out on blankets and such on. And then more troops start coming out and arraying themselves in this large clearing area until there's several hundred of them types in this large deployment area, all in nice, orderly, fashion. You partake of the we'll have to play that tomorrow because we're out of time here. But so next should be finally sounds like you're going to meet the chieftains of the Northrooms and the Centaurs and be trying to act as mediators between a centuries-old tension, that's been fueled by whatever. So think long and hard between now and next week about how you guys hope to handle this.
A half-sleepy farm boy.
What's that?
A half-sleepy farm boy to sit there and mediate.
Yeah.
I think it's a full sleepy farm boy.
So we'll go through the checklist to see who eats or drinks or does what and such next week then. So we'll be back again, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Continue. That will be episode 40 of Heroes of the Mist. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't yet donated to the 501c3 nonprofit RPG Research, studying the effects of all role-playing game formats and their potential to help improve lives, and the community programs we're doing, outreach with role-playing games to at-risk and other special needs populations, please consider swinging by rpgresearch.com/donate and take a look at the options there. If you donate through Patreon, you can get a whole bunch of hero points, and those points can help impact the storyline. Papa Voodoo, I'm sorry we still weren't able to integrate that in. It sounds like next week that'll be doable, so just hang in there. There's sometimes a timing thing on. So wherever you may be well, happy gaming, and Namarie.
Dream well.
Can't sleep. Elves will get.
Just because you're doomed doesn't mean you can't
zombies, they knew it was me.
Gosh, Panera, I did it!
Horse Doomer Sailor says the end is nay.
Oh, good night.